this video demonstration, I'm going to show you how to make a beautiful simple card just using this die from the JND433 Infinity panels. We're also going to be using the daisy circle and leaves to decorate it, but the main piece is making something very simple using the Infinity panels. So to start with, I've taken a piece of coconut white essential card and I've cut this down to just 5-inch square. So nice, small and simple, and the die fits perfectly on this. And all I've done is I've taken the JND Modern Sentiments and popped this one on. Hope today is full of surprises and all your dreams come true. And this has been stamped in smoky grey VersaFine because we're not having any black in this card, so we want it to be nice and subtle. So what I'm going to do is to line the die up against some of the lines on my self-healing cutting mat. And that allows me to place the die exactly straight against 2 lines on there. And I'm leaving this 1/2 inch. So my mat is in inches, so I'm leaving it 1/2 inch. That's just enough to give me a piece of foam tape without any popping through. So I'm just going to make sure that each edge is on this line here and that it's overhanging the die slightly on both sides. I'm simply then going to tape it down using the Craft Artist low tack tape. And just make sure you secure this well. Always tape a die down when you're doing something like this, as we don't want it to move. So we simply tape that down and we run that through our die cutting machine. And that will give us this beautiful panel here. So as you can see, we get all this beautiful intricate detail that just hangs within the card. And all I've done is put 3 strips of foam tape onto the back. Nice and clean and simple. And I'm bringing in now a card blank. This is 6 by 6 inches. And all I've done is matted onto this at 5.5 with white and then 5 at 5/8 in grey to offset that sentiment. So you can see it's a similar colour. If I'd stamped the sentiment in black, I would make this layer here black. But it just pulls the colour forward and it stops it looking a little bit odd. So I always try and make sure the colour is in a card at least twice. So we'll take our foam tape off. Because I want this in the right place, I'm going to add 3 little drops of Craft Artist Always Ready glue on each strip. And that means that it breaks the static and allows me to move that around and make sure it's nice and even in all places. We'll stick that down. You can see there you've got a beautiful, simple, white on white card. So I'm just going to decorate this. And to decorate this, I'm actually using the daisy circle and leaves, as this is actually the waste from one of the other cards in this video series. And all I've done is I've inked a piece of card using Fusion in the new pearl colours. And I've used coral and flamingo. And then in the leaves, I've cut them from a piece again that's been coloured with the Fusions. And I've done that quite simply in the spearmint and the verdant, which gives me this lovely sort of mix of colours. And I'm simply going to add these leaves on. And one of the easiest ways to do this is to take your Always Ready glue and squeeze a decent blob onto your mat. And that way you don't get any glue showing on the front, because you can simply pick up and tap it in. And all I'm going to do is make a nice little arrangement of leaves, sort of almost tumbling down this little piece here. So I'm going to take again just a little bit of the glue. There we go. So I'm keeping it down to this side. I'm going to take another one and come out. So we're coming out towards our sentiment. And I'm simply going to take one of the smaller ones and pop that to hang against. And you see, by dipping the glue in, we get everything, give it a little bit of pressure. Just make sure that's nicely stuck down. But we get that lovely sort of 3D and we don't see any glue on the front. And I'm going to do exactly the same with the flowers. And all I've done is to cut the flowers from the circle. And then I've popped a little clear glass bead, so one of our little Craft Artist dewdrops in the centre, just to give that little bit of 3D. So we'll go with 3 larger flowers and perhaps just 2 of the smaller flowers. And then what I've got is, in this circle, you get these little circles cut, which are absolutely beautiful. And one of the easiest ways to actually glue these down, or to actually use these, is to add these to decorate onto your piece. So I'm just going to take some of my Craft Artist glue glaze, and when it opens, so we'll just get a fresh one out. And this is the one glue product that I'm always feel like I'm using all the time. So we're just going to open a new one for this. So I might as well show you, just peel that one off. We open it out, and I'm just going to pop, to start with, 3 little blobs in a little triangle around, and then I'm going to pick up my pink pieces, and it's almost like you're adding a little bit of confetti. So we'll have one there, we'll have one there, and we'll perhaps have one there. So now I'm going to add another 3. So keeping to this little triangle idea. There we go. And there we have, very simply and easily done, a card with a lot of effect, and you could change the colours completely, but very, very small and sweet, with that beautiful intricate detail that really shows off the sentiment and the flowers. For more ideas, hints, tips and inspiration, why not visit the Crafting with John Next Door and Crafts 2 group on Facebook. Enjoy.